This is MorningLine.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us on MorningLine. Nick Beres here on a very busy news day in Nashville. And, we're going to get into it right off the bat. As you know, the President of the United States is going to be coming. We've been talking about this all along leading up to it. Now it's finally going to happen. But still, we don't know all of the details. A lot of this sometimes shrouded in secrecy, as it oftentimes is when a president comes. A lot of that has to do with security reasons. But this morning, we're going to come at you a couple of ways. You can join us here on News Channel 5, on News Channel 5 Plus, rather. You see the number on the screen there, 737-7587, if you want to join in the conversation, sound off. We're also going to be streaming live this morning on Facebook Live at newschannel5.com. Go to that. I've got a computer here, and we can take your comments there if you'd like to join us. So here, jump in there, and it's not just going to be with me. This morning, we're going to take your calls and comments with our guest this morning. Again, political strategist, conservative political strategist, commentator. You've done it all. Steve Gill.
Good to see you again, my friend.
Nice
Brought
to have
you
you
coffee,
on.
trying to make you happy this morning.
You don't have to do that. I was just happy to hear you were coming on. It's good to see you. We were just talking about, we go way back to the days when you ran for public office, for Congress, back in '96, the second time, right? And Mary Britton and I. And you were one of the first folks I met when I started doing this show. So it's good to see you.
And you've hung on all these years.
Yeah, I'm still here, I suppose. So are you. So, okay, we're going to get to phone calls and messages if people want to join us. But Steve, can you tell us, I'm not sure where to start, but your take on the president's visit. How much did you know about it? I know when the story broke last week that he was coming. And how much do you know about kind of what's planned today beyond what we already know?
Well, first of all, it's a political rally.
Okay. This is not White House organized.
It's the White House is involved because obviously he's the president. But,
right.
But this is primarily using his political apparatus to go out and continue to have interaction with the people who put him into office. And I think he's doing a great thing. One of the things that you saw with FDR was the fireside chats. We've seen other presidents be able to leap over the Washington media to continue to have that connection with and communication with the public. And that's what Donald Trump is doing. It's what he does with Twitter. He's using new media in a way that allows him to connect with people that is different than has been done in the past. And I think this is part of it. He did these rallies in the battleground states during the campaign. Mm-hmm. Well, now he's got the ability to go to states that were easily in his column. I think he carried all but 3 counties in Tennessee.
Oh, right.
So these are places where he's got broad support, and now he's trying to put pressure to pass his policies in addition to continuing to have that contact with the voters.
That's what some people are saying, like, well, he's won. Why is he still campaigning? That's not what he's doing. He's not campaigning, obviously, for himself, but he's going to be here today, talking health care, talking, I think, education. But so he's here. These are to push his agendas, right?
The executive orders are the easy part.
Right,
you can sign your name. He's now got to get things through Congress, and you've got the Democrats who are doing everything they can to block and stop anything and everything, including his cabinet appointments, his political appointments. So he's going to go over their heads again to the people, particularly in these states that are battleground states, I think, as we move ahead. There are 10 states that Donald Trump carried that have Democrat U.S. senators up for election in 2018. 5 of those states he carried by double digits or more. So he's going to go, I think, into these districts around the country to try to move his political appointees ahead, to move tax cuts ahead, to move Obamacare, repeal and replacement ahead. He's going to go do the policy battle in these states the same way he did the political battle.
Yeah, and it's almost a different city every week. Or he's coming here from Detroit this morning,
he's in Michigan this morning. Right. He's here, and then he's going to Kentucky this weekend or next week.
Louisville or something like that is where he'll be going as well. So what do you think about him making his way first? We don't know the route, by the way. The Secret Service keeps that quiet, but he's going to go from the airport.
I'll show you.
Yeah, you got it right there. No, please don't. But you probably know. But he's going to land at the airport, and he's going to make his way this afternoon over to the Hermitage first, is the idea. And I guess the story is that he's actually put a portrait of Andrew Jackson in the Oval Office. And so he fancies himself something of an Andrew Jackson type. And what type would that be?
Well, a populist. Okay. I mean, Andrew Jackson, was somebody that the elite did not like, did not want, and kind of like Donald Trump. And he appealed to the people and opened up the White House to the people. And while you really can't do that as well now, he's doing the same thing, going to the people with these big rallies. Yeah. And I think he fancies himself as somebody who's going to break up the status quo, and that's certainly what Andrew Jackson did. Well, plus, it drives the Democrats crazy. I mean, they've had these Jackson Day dinners for all these years, and now you've got a Republican president coming and paying homage to a Democrat president here in Tennessee, it's going to make their heads explode.
It's his birthday, you know, not Trump's, but Andrew Jackson's. 250. Okay, and he'll be going there.
Doesn't look a day over 240.
No, he does. We have a lot of people following. If you have questions or comments, several people, just questioning, and you've seen this in the past, be it Al Gore when he was vice president or other presidential visits, the motorcade and all of that. The route is kind of kept silent or quiet, but it's going to be a logistical nightmare. Now, it is interesting from the media standpoint in past visits, like when President Bush came, we had a little more of a heads up sometimes in terms of the way they wanted to run things. This came later in the game to us, and at this moment still, we're not exactly sure about everything what to expect. I mean, we want to abide by security. But, Channel 5 is right across the street from the auditorium. What's your take on that? It seems like with this president, it just kind of, it happens and goes. You assume Secret Service. Are they already here?
Oh, they've been here.
They've been here. Okay, so you think
they
were... They've been here for a week. Yeah. All right. And I just wonder what kind of security typically gets set up around outside a venue like this. A bunch of roads are going to be closed, right?
Well, and post 9/11, the security corridors are much larger than they used to be. So, you've got a several block area that's going to be the kind of the lockdown security, and beyond that, you're going to have intense security beyond that main corridor. We had an organization called Lift the Vote, and folks can go to our website, liftthevote.org. They can go to our Facebook page, Lift the Vote, where we went out to try and turn out evangelical Christians to vote in this last election cycle. The last two presidential elections, 17 million Christian evangelicals did not vote. They stayed home. They didn't register. So in this election cycle, we went out with our group to try and turn out Christian evangelical voters in the battleground states. So we had 3 RAP buses, one down in Ohio, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, one down in Florida, North Carolina, Virginia, and then one out in Colorado and Nevada. So we saw a lot of these rallies, and I'll tell you that based upon the experience of what we've seen in probably a couple of dozen of these rallies during the campaign, is that they will draw a lot more people than you expect. So I expect 10 or 12,000 people to descend on downtown. In the campaign, they were doing these with like 24 to 48 hour notice. So people were coming, standing in line sometimes for as long as 6 hours to get in, and it had a carnival circus atmosphere to it. So there's a lot of fun, a lot of festivity to it, but it is high energy, high passion, and I think you're going to see that in Nashville, where we haven't seen that before. They were seeing it in Colorado, Ohio, and all these other places. You're going to get a taste of what the campaign was.
It happens pretty quick, and you're right. Tennessee obviously carried Donald Trump. Now, Nashville was one enclave that he did not win here, but certainly all these counties around the outside, people can come in. Now, my understanding is that you can still go online. Tickets are still available.
Yeah, because again, it's kind of like these rallies. You may have a ticket, but getting in means you better get there early. So
I was going to say, do you think they're actually getting more tickets than this place capacity?
Yeah.
So some people with tickets will be turned away?
We were in a place in Colorado a few weeks before the campaign ended, and it was a 10,000 person venue. It was packed as full as you could get, and there were 2,000 people outside in the cold watching on big screen TVs.
Okay. All right.
So I don't know what they're going to have set up here. They had a big grassy area that you could do that there, but I would expect get there early. And expect to get in, and they'll have music, and there'll be plenty of stuff going on inside once it gets underway.
Of course, it starts at 6:30, and that
doors open at 3:30.
Doors open at 3:30, and of course the traffic. Again, some people asking about traffic and all of that. Go online, newschannel5.com. We've got all the breakdown of all the roads, but certainly anywhere down around Municipal Auditorium downtown between probably noon and when he leaves tonight. How long does he typically speak at one of these events? If he goes at 6:30, and he's not the only speaker. I know Representative Blackburn's going to speak as well, correct?
Yeah.
Anyone else? Any other speakers to your knowledge?
I've heard Senator Mark Green maybe speaking.
Okay.
Scotty Hughes, who was one of his surrogates during the campaign, may be on the speaker list. It's a Trump rally. You don't know what's going to happen. And again, he could speak 30 minutes. He could go an hour. If the crowd's getting into it, he gets into it as well.
Whatever he wants to do, correct. Yeah. All right, listen, we'll take a break on that. Oh, by the way, also some people asking if you're going to be able to see this from some great aerial shots with Sky 5, and the answer to that would be no. Whenever a motorcade comes in, I think it's a 30 or 40 mile radius. Yeah. You have to be 30 miles away. You can't fly, and that's totally understandable for security reasons. So Sky 5 won't be up there to capture that, but we've got vantage points all around this area because of where we're located to cover all aspects.
And folks that are going, we've got a new publication called Tennessee Star, TennesseeStar.com. If you're there, take pictures, text them into us. We've got something called Right Now coverage, and I think Channel 5 may try to do the same thing.
That's a good idea.
If you're there, take pictures, text them to us, and that'll let other people kind of see the experience that you're having.
Yeah, with ours, it's hashtag Tennessee Trump. Listen, we'll take a break on that note. When we come back, we'll take some phone calls. If you're on hold, we'll open up the line, 737-7587. And if you want to contact us as well on Facebook, we're going Facebook Live right now at newschannel5.com. A lot of people following that, but you can send us comments there or questions. What do you think of the president's visit? Do you want to come? Do you care? And we'll talk more about the planned protests that will be outside as well. So we'll be back with more with Steve Gill right after this.